It was a quiet afternoon when a driver realized something alarming. Her license had just expired. Moments later, flashing red and blue lights appeared in the rearview mirror. Panic set in. A routine drive was about to turn into a legal minefield, and how she responded in these next few minutes could make all the difference. Here's the question for you. If your license had just expired and a cop pulled you over, what would you do first? Comment your answer below before we reveal the safest steps. According to official traffic stop statistics, expired licenses are one of the most common reasons for stops in the United States. While the offense may seem minor, officer discretion can escalate a stop if the driver reacts poorly, through nervous movements, unnecessary explanations, or defensive behavior. Court records confirm that the driver's behavior during a traffic stop often determines whether the situation remains routine or escalates into citations, tests, or even arrest. Legal experts emphasize that knowing exactly what to do when your license has expired is crucial for protecting your rights and avoiding unnecessary trouble. Real-world incident. Example: a driver in a suburban area was pulled over after realizing her license had expired. She remained calm, hands clearly visible on the steering wheel, and provided only the requested documents. The officer observed her demeanor and compliance. No additional tests or citations were issued beyond the routine warning for expired registration. The stop concluded peacefully, demonstrating how composure and awareness of legal rights significantly reduce risk. Suspense. Question: do you think she would have had the same outcome if she panicked, reached for documents too quickly, or over-explained the situation? Comment below with what you would do in her place. Legal insight. Drivers are protected under the Fourth Amendment, guarding against unreasonable searches and seizures, and the Fifth Amendment, which protects against self-incrimination. Exercising these rights calmly and respectfully can influence officer discretion and prevent escalation. One interpretation is that staying composed and answering only what is legally required signals cooperation. Another perspective raised in traffic court is that officers have discretion, and behavior perceived as defensive or erratic can trigger additional actions. This is for informational purposes and not legal advice. The moment the flashing lights appear, fear and anxiety often take over. According to verified traffic stop manuals, the first 30 seconds of a stop are critical in determining whether it stays routine or escalates. Step 1. Stay calm and keep your hands visible. Officers are trained to observe driver behavior closely. Sudden movements or reaching without warning can appear threatening. The safest approach is to place both hands clearly on the steering wheel and wait for the officer to give instructions before moving. Scenario example: a driver realized her license had expired and was pulled over. By keeping her hands on the wheel and moving slowly, only when instructed, she avoided escalating the stop. Suspense. Question: would your reaction change the outcome, or do you think officer discretion still decides everything? Comment below with your answer. Step 2. Provide only requested documents. Drivers often over-explain or volunteer extra information, for example saying, "I didn't realize it expired," or "I just renewed it online," may seem harmless, but can complicate the stop. Scenario example: one driver over-explained, and the officer requested additional verification steps. While she wasn't breaking any laws, this extra information extended the stop unnecessarily. Do you think staying quiet and calm would have prevented extra scrutiny? Let us know in the comments. Step 3. Avoid arguing or defensiveness. Even minor gestures, rolling eyes, or raised voices are considered signs of non-compliance. Legal analysts confirm that defensive behavior increases the likelihood of citations or additional checks. Remaining neutral and respectful reduces risk. Step 4. Do not mention alcohol or drugs. Even casual comments about drinking or smoking cannabis can trigger field sobriety tests or chemical testing. Lawyers emphasize you are not required to volunteer this information unless legally asked. Real-world example: a driver pulled over with an expired license stayed calm, answered only the officer's questions, and explained nothing more. Officer observed compliance and neutral tone. No additional tests or citations beyond the expired license warning. Court records confirm that composed, informed behavior prevents escalation in many stops. Legal insight: Fourth Amendment protects against unreasonable searches, unnecessary movements, or over-explaining can create perceived probable cause. Fifth Amendment protects against self-incrimination. You can politely decline to provide information beyond what is legally required. Officer discretion. While discretion exists, minimizing mistakes reduces the likelihood of escalation. Once a traffic stop begins, officers may evaluate whether additional checks or field sobriety tests are necessary. Common tests include walk and turn test, walking heel to toe along a line while counting steps, one-leg stand test, balancing on one foot while counting aloud, horizontal gaze. Nystagmus, observing involuntary eye movements to detect impairment. Official law enforcement manuals confirm these tests are highly subjective. Nervousness, footwear, uneven pavement, or even poor lighting can affect results. The key is calm, controlled behavior, keeping hands visible, responding only when asked, and avoiding unnecessary conversation. Real-world example. A driver pulled over with an expired license remained calm, hands on the wheel, and followed instructions precisely. Officers observed her composure and neutral tone. No field sobriety tests were requested. The stop concluded with a warning only, illustrating how knowing your rights and staying calm prevents unnecessary escalation. Suspense. Question. Do you think staying composed can prevent almost any traffic stop from escalating, or is officer discretion always the deciding factor? Comment below. We want to hear your thoughts. Key legal takeaways. Stay calm. Panic or defensive gestures can be misinterpreted as suspicious. Follow instructions. Respectfully. Compliance avoids escalation. Keep hands visible. Sudden movements increase perceived risk. Avoid volunteering. Extra information. Provide only what is legally required. Know your rights. Fourth and Fifth Amendments protect against unreasonable searches and self-incrimination. Turning points in controversial moments. Over-explaining minor infractions or discussing substances can trigger additional tests. Defensive or aggressive behavior increases the chance of citations or arrest. Calm, informed behavior reduces unnecessary stops and protects your legal rights. Traffic stops can feel intimidating, especially if your license has expired, but knowing what to do, staying composed, and respecting the process can prevent escalation and legal complications. Final question to the audience. Given what we've discussed, do you think these steps could prevent almost every traffic stop from escalating, or does officer discretion still play the biggest role? Comment your thoughts below. Your input might guide our next video. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to the channel for more investigative legal breakdowns. Press the bell icon so you never miss our latest videos. Comment below and tell us what topic you want the next deep dive to cover. We read every suggestion. Remember, knowing your rights, remaining calm, and avoiding common mistakes during a traffic stop can make all the difference. Stay informed, stay respectful, and stay safe.